Hey everyone, Hydra Hut here, and this is Green Lantern Beware My Power, part of the Morrison Sharp Olaf run. This is number 5, it's $3.99 from DC Comics, which you probably already know. So, the art in this one, it's kind of cool, this series. Liam Sharp is a great artist, but it really seems like he puts more and more and more effort into each issue. I will say is Hal Jordan is a little tiny bit inconsistent. Sometimes he doesn't look the same as he does in other issues, which isn't a huge deal, because overall he does. But the art is pretty supreme in this series, and I love these, I guess fancy you could say, these unique panel layouts he does. Very cool. Morrison's writing is good. There's a couple parts that I don't really like. He's kind of like, there's almost fourth wall breaking, and he's a little bit modernized with his writing, which I don't like when writing dates something. So when you talk about Wikipedia or yoga or make cultural references, it sets a date to your work, and it makes it very easy to determine what time frame your work is based in. And I think it's dumb to do that. I feel like comics nowadays do that on purpose to try and make it seem like it's all happening in the real world right now, so it's more easy for you to understand and relate to. And I think that's offensive. The reader is not so retarded that it has to be current day, current year, current time so that I can get into it. And I don't think most people in the big comic companies realize that, because they all have their heads so far up their asses. But Grant does do a good job. He just has some small things that I don't like his dating of his work. Overall, though, this is great. Hal Jordan ends up on the planet Vor, which is funny. I don't know if he does this shit on purpose, but Vor, V-O-R-E, don't Google that, is really disturbing fetish online. So he names his planet Vor, but with 2 R's. So it's and plus Vor is Latin for eat, obviously. But yeah, I don't know. Probably just a coincidence, but it still made me laugh. And then when they're done on Vor, they go to the planet Ran. So Hal Jordan is on the necrotic planet of Vor, which both eats life and death, however that happens. And he has to do a set of trials to unlock each new piece of gear for his Dark Star armor that he is trying to acquire, which is very video game-esque, but it's done well. Also, this art, he's just going all freaking out. I would say the human drawings are the weakest aspects of this entire comic. And Hal's drawn well, very well. Pretty expressive. But just the backgrounds, the monsters and everything, it's so well done. It's great work. I don't really want to go too much into it. I would assume most of you who bought this have already read it since it came out last week. But I don't want to ruin anything just in case. Obviously, him acquiring the gear is kind of a given. It's a comic book. He's not going to not get the gear, and it's just going to story end on us. So I don't feel like that's ruining anything by pointing out that he does get his pieces. I'll just skip over how he goes about getting them. The planet is very cool, has a neat setup. Sorry, I just now realized something. Also, this chick here, I've already forgotten her name, even though I've read this like twice. Hal Jordan and Green Arrow actually killed her father, and that gets brought up, and Hal's assuming that would have some sort of like effect on how she takes Hal, but apparently she was actually pretty pleased to have her dad gone, because he was a big meanie. Young Justice. Ugh. And nothing wrong with Young Justice, but Bendis? Ugh. How freaking awkward to read is this going to be? Alright, oh man, this is cool. I really like this panel. You know, probably a homage to Frazetta's Death Dealer, but man, it just looks so freaking cool. And one thing that I guess bugs me about this is the art is very, very, very dark and immersive. The writing, on the other hand, is kind of light and not immersive. Not any huge difference in the way Hal Jordan speaks versus the way other characters speak, except that Hal Jordan is kind of more casual and modernized in his speaking, whereas everybody else is slightly less modern, still pretty casual. If there weren't like bubbles coming from the person, it would be hard to tell who is who just by their speech patterns. We also find out a lot more about like how the Black Stars are constructed as far as their social status amongst themselves and everything, which is kind of neat. And then at the end of the story, we get some stuff that clears everything up in case you've had like questions about what Hal's doing, and that makes things much more understandable. But what we don't see is the final test of this book, where Hal Jordan has to kill somebody you will remember or recognize. And it basically ends with that reveal. I won't show it, because you've either seen it already or you will be seeing it shortly. I'll say it's a good book. I'm still liking the series. This far in, if you can't find all the floppies, I mean, might as well wait for the trade. I'm sure it'll be coming. I think this is going to be going a lot more than 6 issues, though. If they end it next issue, I will be surprised, and it will be a very rushed feel to it. But I haven't actually done any research to see if this is a maxi series or what. Anyway, I would say I recommend this. Thanks for watching. Hail Hydra, baby.